3 years ago, IOL took viewers inside the Durban flat where Bevan Loftus and 4 other men were killed during a police operation. In that exclusive 2023 report, Bevan's father, former police detective Gregory Loftus, rejected the official account that the men died in a shootout. He alleged that his son had been executed and that the scene had been staged. Those claims have now resurfaced before the Madlanga Commission. We are republishing IOL's original video because it documents what Loftus alleged shortly after the killings, long before these claims reached a public commission. This is where the story began, and IOL was there. For years, the South Durban community of Wentworth has been at the epicenter of a violent and bloody drug war. Scores of gang members have been killed, and many innocent people have died in the crossfire as a feared Hollywood gang laid siege against their rivals. At the beginning of April, police say they dealt a major blow to the gang when the Hawks anti-gang unit burst through an upmarket flat in Morningside and killed 4 members of the gang. They included alleged kingpin Bevan Loftus, alongside Ryan Santos, Michigan Hippolyte, Sishle Zondi, and Chase Finn. According to the police, the gang had just days previously killed Chatsworth drug gang boss Brandon Puff Kalicharan, his wife, and his 9-year-old daughter in a drive-by shooting in Springfield Park. Speaking to news channel ENCA, Police Minister Behi Cele said of Loftus and his gang.
And then those guys, they opened fire. Actually, they nearly killed one of my police. Fortunately, he was on the bulletproof. They shot his bulletproof. So there was an exchange of fire, and police, they prevailed. 5 of those guys, they are still here. They are sleeping. I'm told that they are dead.
Gregory Loftus, a former narcotics policeman and the father of Bevan, whom the minister linked to the gang on national television, is fighting back. He believes that his son and his friends were extrajudicially executed by the police.
This is the front gate, the front door. I presume that the police entered through here, and I'm saying that there was no gunfight because there was no forced entry. As you can see, the lock on the door. And this door is not damaged as well. There's no damage to the door, as you can see. Okay, so as we walk through here, you can see this bullet wounds, bullet marks to the wall, which I presume is from a high caliber weapon. Okay, you come through here. As you come through here, I presume that the boys were sitting on the couch because this is the only couch here, and I think they were surprised by the police's entry. And I say that when the police came in, they would have shouted, "Get down." That's their normal standing operating procedure. And I spoke to a few neighbors who don't want to be named, and a few of them did say they heard police shouting, "Get down, get down, get down." So I say that they would have got down, and that's how they got into that position that they were laying right there. Got them down here, and that makes sense about in the way that they were lying. They would have come in, the police would have come, put their foot on their back, cable tied their hands behind their back. They wouldn't consider the scene clear until that is done. That's normal procedure, it happens on every scene. So, according to the pictures that the police sent out on the night while we were waiting on the pavement, Sishle was laying with his head here, and his body was curved around the corner here. He was laying in a pool of blood. I presume that the entry wounds were on the top because there was no blood on the top. Okay, Bevan was laying with his head here. His head was here. That is a bullet mark made from a direct shot to the head. There's a massive exit wound on Bevan's left cheek. His jaw was shattered and his teeth as well. A massive exit wound. So that tells me that he was shot right here with his head down there. And it had like an octopus kind of shape on it. Right on his face. His body was spread out here. Michigan Hippolyte was laying next to him in that position on his side. Ryan Santos was laying here on his back with his hands up like that. If you look at the picture that the police released early, you can see an entry wound on his stomach here. And the entry wound that blew his head off is under his chin. So the trajectory of the bullets will tell you that he was laying down. There's no other way he could have got it. If they were gunfighting, number one, where's his gun that he had when he shot at him? Number two, where's Michigan's gun that he had when he was shooting at him? There's no gun. The AK-47 placed in Bevan's hand was staged. If you know what you're talking about, any experienced policeman will tell you. If you look at that picture, you can see his hand was moved in place on top of the firearm. Bevan is right-handed. His hand would have been on the butt of the gun, and his left hand on the stock of the gun. So they got that wrong there, because that's not how he shot. Secondly, if he fell and he was shooting and he fell, that gun would have moved away from him. There's no way that it would have been under him. Okay, you can see here, these holes. I'm saying that's where they shot Ryan. Because you can see here, that's a ricochet of the tile, and it's quite a deep hole, and it chipped the wall. To me, that's the shots that killed Ryan. Because if you stood here, in this direction here, that's a downward shot. If it was a gunfight, this is where it would be happening, around here. This level, chest level. They would never be on the ground. Chase, you can see, half his body was in the flat end, half was out of the flat. If you just zoom in here, you'll see, this is a shot direct from above. And he was shot in the head as well. They all had head shots. I'm not too sure what the body shots that they had, but we got a private pathologist for Bevan. And the entry and exit wounds show that he was in a laying position because of the trajectory of the shots. One entered his thigh and came out and got lodged in his upper hip, and one went to his side and shattered in his left shoulder. So that tells me that they were in a laying position. Anybody could see that. But this is clearly a staged execution. They later said that they found firearms in the house. My question is, where did they find them? And how does the minister say that they found the firearms and the guns that killed Puffy, the drug dealer from Chatsworth, and his family in Springfield Park? You have to do ballistics, and it takes time to match the guns to the bullets. So that is impossible. So that raises the question to me, how does he make that statement? How would he know that those are the guns? That tells me that they knew that they came with the guns that killed these people. That's my opinion. Because how could they be so sure?
The Independent Police Investigative Directorate is investigating the shooting. Approached for comment, the KwaZulu-Natal Police told IOL, "We cannot divulge further details at this stage since the matter is under investigation."